Here we are in the studio, about ready to record an intro to my new podcast, a little window into the making of my latest podcast about deep breathing, meditation, and visualization. So here we go. We're going to get started.
Meditate you will. Calm you are. No. You will be. You will be.
A little Star Wars Yoda humor. But I thought it was poignant for this episode because we're going to talk about meditation, deep breathing, and getting right in your mind, visualization. I like to do a little combination sometimes, not always, but I like to combine a little visualization with my meditation because I feel like you're in that right mindset. It opens you up to be able to kind of receive certain things when you're calm and meditating and in tune or in touch with your breathing. So let's get started. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you back here next time. Hi. Thank you for joining me for this behind the scenes of my recent podcast episode about breathing and meditation. I'm going to take you and show you a visual representation of how I breathe, how I meditate, because it's not always easy to get a picture when you're listening to it on a podcast. So follow me. So what I'll do is I will meditate a couple different ways. You can even do this in your car, which is great with your eyes open. Everybody always says close your eyes, but because I'm doing this interval breathing technique, which is basically breathing and meditation at the same time, you can do it in your car, in traffic, to calm down, all that. You can do it standing. If you're doing it standing, I do a power pose like this. I put my hands on my a little above my hips, on my sides where your love handles are, but you can feel your diaphragm. So you're going to want to be breathing with your diaphragm, not just your lungs, to get some real deep breathing going on. But you can do a power pose like this, or what I like to do is you can do one thing. The lotus pose. The conventional meditation pose like this. I like to sit up against the wall so my back's straight. I've got a good posture, but I also have some support going. And I'll just I'll rest my hands like this on my knees, or I'll open them like this to the sky. And you want to keep your head forward a little bit down, chin down, so the crown of your head or the back of your head is pointing straight up to the sky. And then I will just start breathing. But what I like to do in my special place, and you can do this on a chair too if you want, I like to sit on the edge of the stairs. I like to sit like this. I like to have my feet touching the ground, my knees out, shoulder distance apart, and then I will either put my hands on my knees like this, sitting up straight, or I will do the one I told you, the power pose, and then I can feel my diaphragm. So what I want to do first is show you how the diaphragm looks when you're breathing. So let me just turn at an angle here. You might want to get a little closer. So when you're breathing with the diaphragm, you're going to breathe in through your nose, and your diaphragm is going to expand. So if you've had like vocal training or musical training or theater training, you probably know how to do this. But you're going to go like this. So you see the diaphragm coming out. You're going to look like you're pregnant. You're going to look like you're fat. But who cares? Nobody cares. Nobody's going to be with you. And then when you're going to exhale through your mouth slowly, and your diaphragm is going to go back in. So you see that? Now I'm going to do an interval technique that I've learned. It's in a 7 count. It's not going to be a conventional 7 count, but it's going to be breathe in through the nose for 7 count, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold for 28, and then exhale for 14. So that's intervals of 7. 7, 28, 14. Might sound like a lot, but it's really not. And what I find that happens when you count, it's almost like when you do transcendental meditation where they give you a mantra. It's something that you just kind of say in your head or repeat. I know there's supposed to be some mystical thing behind that too, but really I think what it's doing is it's basically getting you out of your mind. You're not focusing on your thoughts, you're focusing on the mantra, which is kind of helping you to focus in on something so you're not thinking. The counting kind of serves that same purpose. Instead of the mantra, you're counting. So it's going to take away your thoughts. You're going to get better at this to the point where you're able to multitask and you're counting and you're thinking at the same time. That's fine. You're going to just focus back on your breath at that point, and you're going to just let a thought come in. You're not going to judge it, and then you're going to let it go. That's what meditation is all about. Getting back in touch with your body and your breathing and your breath. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you. I do 7 count to 28 to 14. I do 10 times of that. So a cycle of 10 of those. Typically takes about 8 to 10 minutes. And I try to do it 3 times a day. Once in the morning, once in the midday, and the evening before I go to bed. But if I don't do that, I just do it whenever I need it. Like if you're in traffic or you're having a stressful day, you can do this whenever you want. That's the beauty of it. I'm going to show you one cycle of this. So I'm going to breathe out first to get all the air out of my lungs. And then I'm going to breathe in through my nose for a 7 count, hold for 28, and then exhale through the mouth for 14. Here we go. And then you'll rinse and repeat. You'll do that for a cycle of 10. And that really, you might feel a tiny bit lightheaded when you first do this because you're not used to breathing this way. But what I find is you heal faster, you feel better, you have more energy, you feel more rested. It's like a replacement for a nap. And also, you'll feel re-energized, you'll think better. I get some of my best painting thoughts and creative thoughts when I'm meditating. And I feel like you just don't age as much. Like I feel like you're younger. You're younger at heart. You're getting all this oxygen to your body on a cellular level. The mitochondria of the cell is just regenerating all those little telomeres or telomerase. You're like extending those. You're getting more value out of the lifespan of each cell, which is extending your life. Now, I'm not a doctor, so take it or leave it. But another thing I like to do when I'm breathing is I like to visualize. I'll focus on something that I want. Not always, but sometimes. I'll focus on visualizing something great happening in my life. You want to get a good painting sale, or you want to get into that good gallery that you've been trying to get into, or whatever. You just want to visualize a painting or the creative process, something like that. You're blocked. You want to get some ideas flowing. So I'll just do this whole thing, and I'll start by visualizing achieving that and seeing how that feels when I'm achieving that and how people react to me achieving that. And it's very powerful. So I'm just going to end by doing this one more time for everybody so they can see it happening. Thanks for watching. Okay, so thank you for watching. And if you want to hear an actual guided meditation that I'm doing, go on over to listen to my podcast, The Living Artist. It's The Living Artist podcast, but it's just The Living Artist. You can find it on Apple, you can find it on Anchor, you can find it anywhere. You can find it here on my YouTube channel underneath the video. So if you're interested in that, go on over and you can do a guided meditation auditorily just by listening to the podcast. Otherwise, I hope you got some value out of this, and if you get a chance, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so you can get notifications of new videos.